Hello, welcome to the show tonight. Once again, we're doing the bright side, since we are absent one host. I hope you enjoyed that bumper music. That was The Hero by Nostalgia. If you don't recognize that...
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I hope so. If you don't recognize that, it's in lieu of the fact that I got my loot crate today, which came with this amazing Lord of the Rings cup that changes to gold when you fill it, which I'm not sure why they didn't make it gold. And the letters appear when you make it hot, but hey, I'm just a Lord of the Rings purist. Also from Adventure Time. Yeah, right? I don't know what this is. I've never seen... This is Adventure Time, right?
That's okay. The Ice King and his little minion penguins.
Kingdom was the theme this month. Also, based on the theme music. Check it out. See that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here we go. Here you go. You can see it. Hyrule. Of course, the greatest of all kingdoms ever to be saved by a hero. Which is why...
Or at least the highest. Sorry.
As a general rule, it's the highest. It's the highest. Hyrule. Okay, alright. This is why you come here, folks, for the dumb jokes. And we are not in short supply. Alright, so as usual, we are between seasons of the Matt to Matt podcast, and during the absence of the other Matt, who's usually next to me, the disembodied, re-embodied voice of Joe is stepping up to be over here in his library. But, yes. Favorite avatar so far. So we're going to be doing the bright side. We did it last week. It was a lot of fun. We're doing it again this week. I believe we have one more week, maybe two, before other Matt comes back, and we launch our second season of the Matt to Matt podcast. Once again, the chat is live. It's always on screen. The connection has timed out, unfortunately. Let me fix that for you. There you go. Now you can be disconnected without the shame. The live chat is always on screen, so feel free to chime in with anything you would like to talk about, but it has to be positive. We can get back to the negativity when Matt comes here. We can argue more about nuclear war and whether or not it's ethical. But today, no mention of that or anything else of a negative nature. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, and do click the little bell next to the subscribe symbol, and I'll tell you why. It makes sure you get push alerts on your phone when we go live. We only go live once a week, so you're not going to be inundated with tons and tons of alerts that irritate you. I promise. Just once a week, in case you forget that your favorite podcast airs at 9 p.m. Eastern every Thursday night. So, with all that out of the way, we have some uplifting news for you this week. First of all, let me see if I can find it without looking. How'd your connection come through, by the way?
I got him.
He got him. Got him. Alrighty, let's get right into the news. Block that. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here we go. Good news. Largest ever asteroid is about to fly by Earth instead of hitting us. If that's not good news, I don't know what is. Let's bring that up a bit. Let's change this. Split to large form. Oh, no. I seem to have left Joe off of the other split. Give me a moment to bring him in.
Oh, I'm still in this one.
He's looking a bit, dejected, and I can't blame him. So, I'm not sure which one I'm getting here. It might be this one. And there he is. One moment. I am, of course, referring to the other formatted screen that will allow us to show you what it is we're talking about, with it being in a large enough format for you to see. As soon as I have my
just
stalwart
in front of the I like being in front of the news.
you're like the giant newscaster with the green screen behind him, and he's like, and over here we've got some fake news, which we won't be addressing today. We're just gonna push on through, like the weatherman does. Pushes on through. Okay. There we go. And oh, that's more like it. That's such a classy library. What book is that behind you? The one that's open. Is that like Renaissance paintings? I don't know. Or is that John Wilkes Booth shooting someone? I can't tell.
Wait, that can't.
It can't be.
That can't.
That's not a Renaissance thing. I was switching. Categories.
Not a bright side thing either.
That is true. So that's definitely not. Definitely not. What's going on there? All right.
Speaking of missing doomsday events, I wasn't going to mention this, but since you mentioned the asteroid,
I mentioned it in a positive light.
Put a happy super volcano underneath Yellowstone
did or did not explode.
Well, it didn't.
Okay,
but we
good.
have scientists are coming up with a plan to defuse it in the future and turn the superheated magma underneath into energy for us.
Energy for us is good.
Yes.
Every week
Geothermal.
you bring up is that what geothermal energy is? I've heard that phrase and I never thought about the fact that I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
The reason why it's a super volcano is just there's a super huge amount of magma that is elevated.
Is that what they call it, a super volcano?
Above basically, yeah.
I could not have told you that either.
Basically, it just has to get hot enough. Once it gets hot enough, boom, it explodes. But if we can get underneath of it, they want to drill 5 miles down, dig underneath, and like run water through it, and then that heats up the water, and then we get energy from the water. That will cool it down. I mean, it'll take at least 1,000 years, but this is a
and by then we will have developed solar and wind that actually works at a cost-effective way.
But this is a 2-in-1. This is defusing it and getting power out of the deal.
That's always good.
Yes.
It's like if you can. What movie was that?
Because these supervolcano events happen more frequently than
we'd like
asteroid
them to. More frequently
asteroid events
than we would like them to.
I mean, it's still a long time, like 700,000 years, but
enough that we don't have to think a lot about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of space, there's a lot of positive news in space. Just like last week, I tried to look for like uplifting good news, and there wasn't a lot of it to be had. A lot of it's kind of doomsday-ish. So an asteroid missing Earth is definitely a good thing. The SpaceX spacesuit looks just as otherworldly as you'd imagine.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, it does. And here is a picture of it. Elon Musk. This whole SpaceX thing is pretty interesting, pretty creative. I don't know a whole lot about it, but from what I've seen, it seems to be making large innovations in the way of space vacationing. Am I right?
Does it what?
They're making large strides in the way of like space exploration space vacationing
that's the goal. I think.
Civilians being able to go into space the same way they can go to Tahiti.
That's how they
costs too much.
They just have to make it so they can get up there, and then people can spend the money because people want to spend the money to get up there.
There's a market for it.
Yes,
there's a market for it. Pretty soon, Zillow will have like, which planet do you want to search on, or which celestial body do you want to search on? Because the moon is not a planet. Have either of you been to Craters of the Moon in Idaho? No. Welcome, Amor Pizza, to the chat. Thanks very much. Nope, I've never been west.
No, I've never been west.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They can see that I'm reading the chat. Luckily, we leave it up there for that purpose.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it doesn't get confusing. It used to get confusing. I would just say the chat, and it's like, why is he having a conversation with himself? But yes, look at that. See, you can make it look cool because you're trying to entice the average person to want to, say, invest or buy one or wear one or fly somewhere where you have to wear one.
I'm sure everyone would be, in this case, function is vastly more important than how it looks.
Vastly more important, but if you can make it look good too, that's a selling point.
Yes, it is.
Form over function sometimes.
I just listed a laptop and I had to make it look really good.
Did you make it look really good?
Yeah, I did.
Comes with floppy disk drive. As what do they call that? Vintage floppy disk drive.
Floppy disk drive.
Play your old games like
Not
Bop It.
that old.
Not Bop It. Bip Bop. That was the last game I
Bip
remember playing on a 3.3 1/4 inch.
Hmm.
The small small
Floppy
small
disk.
floppy disk, not the thumb drive, small floppy disk. It was on 2 discs, and it was called Bip Bop. And it was pretty much like what do they call those games these days? Peggle? I don't know. Where you launch the color up and you try and hit it with other ones that match and they disappear. But you were a dude running around with a triangular head, and I enjoyed it very much. I got it for my birthday when I was like 6.
I think the last one I played was Lemmings.
Lemmings, really?
Yeah. It's an old game.
Here we go. Speaking of SpaceX, this is the other thing I wanted to bring up.
Volcanic Chamber.
And then we'll switch over to Joe. Deadline for Google Lunar X Prize Moon Race. Moon Race extended through March 2018. Let's read a little bit about this. This right here, by the way, this is a rendering. This is not an actual spacecraft, but it will be. This is an artist illustration showing the Moon Express MX-1E spacecraft descending toward lunar surface, carrying a suite of science and exploration instruments.
Is this an artistic rendering or is this actually happening?
It's going to happen. It's an
going
artist
to happen.
rendering, but the idea is Florida-based Moon Express is one of 5 teams left in the $30 million Google Lunar X Prize. Meaning, Moon Express is
whoever gets there gets the money. Is that how it-
yeah. It's like a scavenger hunt. He literally went and he put $30 million in a chest sitting right at the base of that American flag, and he's like first one to get it. It's like rat race, but it's like
That's
lunar
pretty
rat
funny.
race for space mice. Let's see. The 5 teams left in a $30 million race to the moon now have a bit more time to accomplish their missions and the chance to win some additional money along the way. Do you know how amazing it is that someone, and we talked a while about this, and I don't mean to bring up the topic, but of like income inequality and how some people have a lot. Some people do a lot of good things with that lot that they have. Elon Musk seems to be he's the one running the SpaceX kind of thing, right? That is him, correct? Am I wrong?
I'm pretty sure it has
Yeah.
a big hand in
Big
what they
big
do.
hand. He has big hands. He has big hands and everything. The idea that they just go, all right, we'll give $30 million to whoever can do this best and fastest and safely. Apparently, it's like Junkyard Wars in space. The fact that he
Cobble
can just
something
throw money
together.
at it to create space innovation, he could be helping to create, incentivizing the creation of an entirely new market for space, for civilian space exploration for the normies. Let's see. Amor said, yeah, normies want to go to space too. Well, it's old volcanic chambers you can climb through. Pretty fun and awesome. That sounds... Wait, so Craters of the Moon, linking together our first story about the supervolcano and the one we're talking about now, about the moon. That's pretty cool. All right. You ready?
Segways.
Yeah. You ever ridden a Segway?
No.
That was a bad segue. It's always a good segue for anything. You ready to get pulled up?
Oh yeah, I actually have an article about money on a different planet.
Money on a different
Or
planet.
Diamonds, not exactly money.
I
I saw another article. It's like diamonds may be rare on Earth, but it's raining diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. But I'm like, well, I mean, diamonds aren't really rare on Earth. That's just that's a misnomer. That's just there's a company. What?
It's a misconception.
Misconception.
People
yeah.
just assume, hey, they're diamonds. They're
Well, it's
a lot.
yeah. There's a monopoly on diamonds. But,
Got it. Hey, can you zoom that in a bit so the text is legible?
Maybe.
Is it not?
Oh, I was in the wrong screen.
Don't you hate that? I hate that. I'm often on the wrong device.
Is that legible enough?
Kind of. Mostly it's not helped by the fact that it's sent. There's some loss when it's sent over to my system, and there's a little bug flying around my face. It's not good. That's way better. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It may rain diamonds inside Neptune and Uranus. That's weird. Why?
Well, they have to form inside, and then they're, I guess, somehow convected up. Did you actually?
Are they talking about inside an atmosphere on Neptune, or are they talking about like inside the planet? Because if it's raining
well,
inside the
planet
planet
is mostly gas. So It's a gas giant.
I was about to
It's
get
actually-
into semantics about the definition of raining.
Oh,
You mean they're just forming and they happen to be forming in a spot where they're in the air and they
yeah,
fall
it's
down?
in the atmosphere.
Gotcha.
It's gotten incredible pressures, and yeah, that's what you need to form diamond is incredible pressures
And carbon.
and carbon,
Yeah.
and they got both and heat maybe.
That's probably helpful, yes.
Yeah, but you'd think they're so cold being so far away from the sun, and the outer layers are cold, but inside there's a lot of friction, and the temperatures are quite hot.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, things on other planets that, speaking of which, you know what I was thinking about the other day?
no, what
Have
do
we
you think?
found other planets that look like Earth? That like have greenery and oceans?
The problem is we can't see planets that well. We
Okay.
found super Earths, planets that we're pretty sure are basically the same, just a little bit bigger.
Okay, can
In
you,
the Goldilocks
you move the
zone.
mic down, or maybe just like the blow pad away, because it's not, the camera's not seeing your mouth, so when you talk you're just kind of going,
Yeah.
and it looks weird. So
Uh,
all right, I'm not the dentist. Okay, all right, that's better. It's eerie that you're like talking without. It is the
I
disembodied
see.
voice, but that's a bit much. I was thinking about the fact that if we were all living on a space station and Earth wasn't here anymore, and everyone was saying like, "Oh yeah, back when we had a planet Earth," there would be naysayers who are like, "There was never a planet Earth." Look around and you point out any of the other planets. The idea of a planet with water and greenery and animals is a myth. It's something made up by people. Do you see any evidence that there's ever a planet that looks like that? There's no. It just happens to be just within the range
who are
of
these
the
people?
sun.
Where would these people
Children
be
of
coming
children
from?
of children.
where
They
would
all
be
lived
coming
on a space station. I'm saying like
Oh, on a space
Earth got
station. Oh.
destroyed or something, and we ended up escaping. This is a very specific hypothetical. We all ended up escaping on a space station. We're living there for generations and generations, hurling into space, hoping we come across a terraformed planet or terraformable planet of some kind. And after like a generation or two, the kids would just be like, "That's stupid. Why are you telling me this? This is a lie just to make us, give us hope for this better life to come." No one's ever seen it. No one alive has ever seen it. Interesting.
That sounds really positive.
It is. It is. Aren't we happy we have the planet Earth? That's what I'm saying. We should be happy we have a planet Earth. Amor
And-
Pizza
and
says,
scientists.
and scientists. Yes. I'm glad it doesn't rain diamonds here. Out. Yeah, well, maybe if they were small, like hail. It does rain hail. Hail is
Wow.
not good. The stream is offline. You must be joking. It says it's fine. I'm not getting any problems with it. I'm seeing the stream looking just fine. Stream resumed.
Oh.
All right. I am calling my ISP tomorrow, and I am refresh it. Okay, we're back now. They missed it. You'll have to tell me where we left off. I was rambling about space.
That's okay. We did.
It wasn't any good, says Joe. It's okay. Don't worry about it. That's fine. I just wanted to know whether or not
It was a hypothetical situation.
It was a hypothetical, and it was a positive hypothetical. I'm just saying it's a good thing.
Anyway.
we on Earth are smart enough to have faith in things that we can't see.
The processes that would be forming the diamonds for rain would be more worrisome than actual diamonds falling down.
True. Maybe if they formed like in space and then just sort of entered the atmosphere, and then we had like burnt diamonds hitting the. Do you think they could withstand re-entry? Right? They're diamonds.
So diamond meteorites
They're little tiny ones. By the time they get here, they're
Okay.
little tiny ones.
and how? Yeah, but I mean, the speed at which they would normally enter the atmosphere, unless they are going like at exactly the same direction that Earth is going, would still cause them to come and hit something pretty fast.
Yeah, but we have meteorites hit the Earth sometimes. They don't hit people.
Well, they hit all
one
the time.
person.
That's just because Earth's mostly covered with oceans.
Exactly. So we would just have to go harvest them from the bottom of the sea. We put out giant nets like crab pots at the bottom of the ocean. We put out giant nets that try to catch these things. Pew! And at least we know where they are based on the hole in our giant Kevlar net that can't stop a diamond bullet. There's no such thing as a captain flying. There's no such thing. Yes, thank you. In my hypothetical of the spaceship that's flying. No, there's someone. Spaceship and lost crabby grandkids. Yeah, spaceships and lost crabby grandkids. Cool. Okay. Well, good. She did hear that.
Spaceships and long journeys.
Yeah.
This is somewhat positive.
Let's hear it.
Let me just read the title of this article. Human waste to transform into plastic parts on long space journeys. Scientists are figuring out how to use every scrap of available resources
Gotcha.
on a
Human
very
waste.
long
I thought you meant when someone
trip.
dies.
So
Like when someone dies, they just well, we have human
well.
waste here. Let's just make them into plastic.
they could do that too.
They could.
I'm sure.
They could. If someone died in space, do you think they send him home or be like, we need parts up here for all kinds of things.
Oh, that's terrible.
We could use, those finger bones to replace the switches. Anyway, positivity. What? What are we talking about?
Yep. Anyway, that's kind of cool. Human waste to plastic.
That is good because we have a lot of plastic waste. Can we? Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. We cannot turn our plastic waste into humans. I don't think. Not yet, anyway. Oh no, stream's gone again. What are you doing to me, stream? I'm hardlined in. The stream should not be going down like that. Stream completed. Stream resumed. This is something else. This is something else tonight, folks. Sorry about that. I've been having trouble with my Wi-Fi booting off my devices at random times. So I've been adjusting things with my router, and apparently even using the Ethernet hardlined in is still kicking me off for some reason. So not sure why, but...
Left off at using finger bones.
Yes, to replace switches. I apologize for the glitches. It's not like censoring us or anything. I promise. But for some reason, it keeps dropping out, and I apologize. I will be calling my ISP tomorrow. You back? Cool. That's interesting to say the least. Hey, what movie was that? Apollo 13.
I didn't see it.
Where they they have like airlocks or something that will like expel their waste into space, but they couldn't use them because they were exactly on the right trajectory to come home. And if they expelled anything, they'd like tip off course. And so yeah, they ended up having to like put it in bags, and so by the end of the movie it was just like bags floating around of human waste, which is fun. So yeah, there's that. A lot of interesting things going on in space.
We had the solar eclipse.
Yeah. How about that solar eclipse though?
I'm still waiting for the footage that you took.
Oh, that's right.
Some good footage, didn't you?
I did. I got video of it, but the problem is I didn't realize. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I thought it would happen a little quicker than how far it moved, and it moved so far in the sky by the time the eclipse came and went that I kept having to adjust my camera. And so I was hoping I would have like a single shot that I could, because I was recording for like 3 hours straight of just a single go with my amazing new Handycam. But I kept having to adjust where it was in the frame. It would like creep over and then down.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
fast,
oh
no,
oh no. And then I moved it up, and I ended up having to like zoom out at one point so that I didn't have to go over there every 30 seconds and adjust it. I had a pretty tight zoom. I did put that one picture up on Facebook. I dumped all the video. Oh, well, there goes our connection again. This is going to be... Oh, no, it dipped.
It dipped.
It dipped. I have a connection strength meter at the bottom, and it went into the red. But Amor Pizza says, "But best quote from my kiddo during the eclipse. Whoa, it's like Halloween out here." Oh, that's right. You're where the eclipse hit big. Like they got like the full thing. Did you get the? Were you in the line of totality there? Like exactly, so you can see up and see like the big hole. Thanks for Thanks for the feedback saying we're still streaming. I appreciate that. Did you get like totality where you could look at it for a couple seconds without your glasses, even though that's not recommended? NASA recommended it. I was watching their live stream and they're like, "It is now safe to view without your glasses. Better put them on. It's coming back. It's coming back." 99.4%. How is that? Okay, I know. If that 0.5% is still poking out, it does affect it. It is affected, but that's a shame. We got, what was it, 75% here? 75%-ish. So the best I got were big orange, because I set my camera to sunset to capture all the colors of the sunset. So I was like, the sunset, may as well. So I turned it on. I got this brilliant orange color and then the moon passing. So I got some really cool shots, but of course you can't see any detail. Of course, it's not like getting shots of the moon at night.
Oh, that's okay. We got people who got good shots.
Yeah, but there's no bring some of those up if you would. But it's not like you can see texture on the sun. It's not like you can see like the boiling bits and like the solar flares and things. It's not that, is it? You're smiling like it might be.
Some people took shots that were that good.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the best shot that you've seen? Besides the one you took.
Mine? No, seriously. I saw a couple online and everyone's like, look at these pictures of the eclipse or whatever, because it was like a headline and then they had a picture. They all looked like mine. It was just like an orange shape of the sun with something kind of like cutting it, so it looked like the moon-ish.
I got you.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what this one is, but it's kind of cool. It's artistic. It says mom takes stunning maternity photos during solar eclipse. So it's kind of creative, and
that is creative.
this is actually a composite, I think. He said it was too high up for them to include it in the frame, so he took them separate and put them together. But
really,
yeah.
She may as well have taken her picture like weeks before and been like, just make sure you catch one of the moon. We'll stick them together after the fact.
Yeah, it was still pretty cool.
Yeah, Amor Pizza says it was still super cool. It got pretty dark and the crickets came out and everything got super quiet. Well, the crickets came out. Oh, yeah, that's weird. They're all like, whoa, oh, gee, I wasn't ready for my shift.
There are some interesting viewing mechanisms, including a saltine cracker.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, the leaves over, like there was a tree.
Yeah, people noticed the holes in the leaves of the tree.
Yeah, I had that. It appeared on my kitchen floor. It came in through my window.
Crescent.
It's a crescent moon.
Crescents.
Yeah. I had a whole scatter of those sitting on my floor, and I'm like, why does it look so? Oh, that's the eclipse. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, so I'm about to pull up the best photo, I think. Wow.
Let's
Actually,
see.
this is 10 plus good photos, but one of them is the best. I think it's the first one.
Okay.
No, that's not the first
We'll
one.
suffer through
Never
all
mind.
the bad photos. That's fine. This is the last week we're going to be able to talk
This one
about
is not the best one, but this is
That
like
is pretty
a
cool.
once in a lifetime shot. A plane. He just took it and a plane went right by when he took it right through the middle.
Dang, that's close, too. That's not like, oh, there's a tiny bit of
Yeah.
a plane. I think that's a plane. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang.
He said, yeah, I like the title. I am the accidental photographer of this once in a lifetime shot.
I'm not going to lie. I did not plan this. I was just leaning on the camera too hard. I accidentally snapped a shot. Happened to be pointing it upstairs. I was pointing it upstairs at the moon.
Okay, this I think this is the best one that I've seen. Look at that.
Oh, okay. What does it say? Hey! That's like an 80s movie. That's like Blade Runner or like Last Starfighter cover or something. That looks really cool.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
They're pretty lucky to get that shot.
Unbelievable.
And like,
Unbelievable. Is it
this is the
composite
way-
too?
No,
Because that last one,
this
one of
is-
the lady was good, but it's
well, they said single photo, no Photoshop. So I believe them. I think they did their research. What is this?
I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure I
Board
do.
Panda.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
But it's still pretty cool. It's a work of art. And you got your classic, what do you call it, time lapse. And then you're talking about the shadows of the trees, tree leaves you can see it on this car here.
Oh yeah. Dang, that looks cool.
Another cool eclipse photo. I like that.
You are staring very intently at your computer screen,
I am.
according to your avatar.
Oh, didn't realize
You had
we
turned your
changed.
head and you were like,
Did not
like that.
realize we changed.
yeah, it's still not talking for you. I'm not sure why. It's because you don't talk like this in real life. Yeah, it's dang it, we're dipping again. I think we might have lost the stream. Man, that's frustrating. Video output low. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Sorry about that, viewers. Man, you know what? I can't blame those of you who are ducking. Oh, hey, that's nice. I was wondering. I was like, who built that structure on the moon, and why is it tipping over? Nice.
Pretty good.
Yeah. See, my photos look like that, like a nice orange. It looks like
Minus the plane.
What was it? Bewitched minus the plane. Yes. Was it Bewitched? There may have been. I don't know. I wasn't there the entire time. I did go inside a couple times and come back out. It might have flown right across.
You didn't look at it.
I looked at most of it though.
Review.
You're right.
Yeah.
I kind of scrolled through it real quick. What I was saying earlier is I was hoping I could get one single shot of it like moving, so I could put it on like high speed and just watch it go like across it. Okay, then is that a slack line?
Slackline?
Slack line. It's like a flat. It's like a rope, but it's flat. It's like a giant belt that they stretch out and people walk on it. If he's walking on it, I'm assuming it's either a tightrope or a slack line. It looks a lot like a slack line. Rock climbers usually do.
I'd say it looks more slack than tight. That's just
Gotcha.
me.
Oh, well, there. Yeah, that's why it's called a slack line. It's got a little bit of give to it. It's not like a tight rope or a tight line. It's a slack line.
You can see the shadow go across. It's pretty cool. I
All
like
right.
that one.
Hold on. Let me
Checking some options.
encoder. Yeah, I'm checking some options. I'm not sure.
I think
Encoder
there's another
preset.
cool one here somewhere.
Here equals less CPU. Video. Currently active.
Oh, here's the
Scan.
other one. Okay, so
Oh,
apparently the
yeah. I
International
saw that.
Space
A
Station.
TIE fighter flew in there while it was like, that's no moon. Yeah, a TIE fighter thought that was the Death Star. It got confused. It's like, I'm just flying toward that. Oh, no, that's no Death Star. That is really cool.
What's a
Why-
short-range fighter doing all the way out here?
Did
I
it
don't know.
go-
He must have gotten lost.
Yeah. No,
were you
fighter
saying?
has the range that far. What? No, I was saying, why is it? Are those like as quickly as the frames were taken with a video, or was it just like a time lapse camera that took one every 3 seconds? And it was like, oh dang, how cool would it have been if I had a video of the darn thing going?
Oh no, that probably would have been really fast.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that makes sense. That is odd. Did they know? Did the International Space Station, would they have known that they were going to pass?
Yeah, I think they
In, like-
made their trajectory
Because
to
they-
eclipse it.
Yeah, they could see the eclipse too.
Yeah. Well, they see eclipses all the time.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. They probably
They did see this one though.
they probably see eclipses of the Earth quite often.
I think
What do they call that?
Oh, I wonder if their picture is on.
What would you call
They
that?
actually put a good picture on here. What?
If you were like on the moon and the Earth eclipsed the sun?
It
'Cause
would be
we-
a Terran eclipse.
No, what do you call it when we get in between the sun and the moon? And the shadow of Earth casts onto the moon. What do you call
That
that?
would be a lunar eclipse.
Is it a lunar eclipse? I always get them backward. Because it's like, what gets eclipsed or what does the eclipsing? So, gotcha. Cool. Yeah, they probably see that a lot, and that would be what you would call that, apparently.
There's another.
Oh, what was that? What was that? What were they viewing that through?
I think they're just like a table or something. They didn't really say.
Banana for scale. That's nice. That's pretty cool.
There's.
Yeah, we're gonna keep indulging the eclipse for just a little bit. Like I
Yeah.
said, this is by tomorrow. Gonna be old news. The Great American Eclipse. Sounds like. See, now that's funny because there was.
I like this one. 90 minutes before Eclipse starts, Mother Nature chills like a boss.
Oh no.
And they posted the picture. And you don't see anything but clouds. Yeah, sorry to all those people.
It's awful.
I know it must be on NASA's website.
Okay,
I'll have
that's
to
pretty
look it
cool.
I have to look it up.
Darn it all. Whoops. What is going on here? Sorry.
So how's the stream doing? Healthier?
It's coming and going as far as the health goes. When it goes low, people have to. It says very low output. People get like buffering going on or something like that. So, yeah, we're probably gonna have to cut this a bit short, just because it's.
You mean like actually end on time?
Exactly. That's what I mean. So, yeah, because if it's going to keep buffering like that, then we don't want to put people through all of that. Let's see. Tab. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Eclipse photo. Which is funny because you know what that does? People think that speaks to his intelligence. It speaks to his character. Because people there were just like, all right, don't look up into it. He's like, oh, you mean like this? Yeah? You going to tell me what to do? Yeah, it's stupid. But he wasn't like, oh, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just squint, right? Nah, he was just being a typical
Rebel.
lughead. Yeah, no, he's being a typical rebel like he does. That's why he's grinning like that. Because that certainly doesn't feel good. It's like, thinks maybe he's tanning more. I don't know. But this will fix my orange color. Make me more actual tan.
Orange.
Doubtful. Okay.
Speaking of oranges.
Yeah.
You heard about Amazon buying Whole Foods?
You're getting great with these. Great segue. No, I didn't. I heard
they bought Whole Foods, and I mean the company, not like
they
foods that are whole.
They bought a bunch of Whole Foods.
And
they're gonna be selling them.
And it says gonna lower some prices on them.
Lower prices is good because Whole Foods are hell. I was having this conversation with someone a while ago. I may have brought this up on the stream a couple weeks before. But one of the toughest things on the poverty-stricken is access to healthy food. Michelle Obama went on this campaign about people not being able to have access to healthy food in the country, and she meant like there aren't places around that sell it. Most people live within half hour of actual produce. Problem is, good healthy Whole Foods have been so expensive because they're not mass production has created a market for how cheaply can we make this. Let's not make sure we do this in a healthy way. Let's preservatives. Preservatives, the whole idea of those is to make mass production of food easier, and we can move it, make it somewhere else and ship it over here and it lasts longer. Good healthy Whole Foods have been quite expensive. So them buying Whole Foods and lowering the prices not only is like, hey, that's nice that I can keep an extra $1 in my wallet, but beyond that, it helps people actually eat healthy, which isn't just like a matter of being unhealthy or overweight. Child's brain development. If a child is not eating properly, they have a hard time developing and learning as children. And unfortunately, children who are in poverty have a hard time getting healthy food because $1 cheeseburger will fill a child up, and spending $1 making a cheeseburger from Whole Foods is a lot more expensive than that. So if they can bring down the cost of healthy foods, we can get a healthier bunch of people. Not only that kind of health, but all kinds of health. We'll have a way to go, Amazon, for making smarter kids. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What did they? Oh,
I'm excited.
Did I? I have me back up again. Where are you? There you are. Amazon plans to lower some prices at Whole Foods. It was Seattle.
Yeah.
Does it say why?
I actually didn't even read the article. I was just say,
but
nice headline. It's
the headline is
lower
happy.
Lower prices on foods.
Happy headlines. That's fine.
And yeah, I always every time I always forget the Jeff Bezos. He's the chief executive of Amazon. Bezos means kisses in Spanish, doesn't it? Something like that. So I always
how's
think
it spelled?
Bezos. It's
Yeah. Okay. I don't technically know, but yeah, like the word, that sound of word means that. But Bezos.
oh, it's with an S. I got you. It's
Yes.
just funny. I don't know why.
Because it is you.
Yeah. I don't know. Amazon likes the lower prices. I think that's why.
There it is. There it is. Amazon does like to lower prices.
Competitive.
I've heard they've been having a hard time with that, and kudos to them for not randomly raising prices, just because like, hey, we're not doing so well. Let's stop giving free shipping.
No, they probably do here and there, but
I mean, like as far as like they don't get rid of their free shipping things or Amazon Prime, Prime shipping.
yeah, they like to push their Prime stuff.
They do. They absolutely do. What was Oh no, I didn't bring it up on here. Speaking of prices going down, I want to bring this up because it's something near and dear to my heart.
Oh, VR?
The
I saw
VR
that.
headset.
I saw that ad.
Now, yeah, not only has the Oculus Rift, which is the second best in my opinion, but it is it has become room scale with a couple added Lighthouse boxes to help with your tracking. But also, it has been dropped to $399, which is the ultimate low price. Comes with the hand trackers, the headset, the whole everything you need to play amazing AAA rated games in VR. But that's the Oculus Rift. The HTC Vive has been brought down from $800 to $600. The HTC Vive is far more expensive because it is the best experience you can get in VR so far. In fact, they have two wireless options, and by wireless I mean no cable coming from your head, powered by your supercomputer, but it has a little receiver transmitter on the top of your head strap, and it sends and receives so quickly. It is lossless quality and no latency. Yeah, it's insane. So they've been pushing the innovation HTC has with the Vive, which is why it is a more expensive option. Hopefully, the drop in price mixed with the fact that a lot of video game publishers have actually dedicated a lot of funds to producing some of their previous titles, their most popular titles. You know what the two most purchased games on Steam were before PUBG came out? Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Both of those are getting VR updates this summer. They're going to have the two most popular games on Steam in VR. Both headsets that you'll be able to play them on come down in price. Hopefully that will expand the market because people have been waiting. And I did a lot of research into this. People have been waiting to get into VR, and rightfully so, because people, it's mainly aimed at Steam users, because HTC Vive is built specifically in conjunction with Steam to be put on the Steam game platform. Most VR games are available on Steam. Any that aren't are on the Oculus store, their web app that you download their games from, exclusive to Oculus. But Oculus also can be used with Steam. But if you look at the purchasing habits of Steam users, which is who this is aimed at, not just people on Steam who play Terraria and random games, the people who buy these expensive $60 AAA games don't buy them when they first come out, and they don't buy them at full price. The most purchased game in 2016, that was from 2016, was actually the 8th most game that year. That is to say, the top 7 most purchased games in 2016 were all made in 2015 or before. In fact, the top selling game last year was a game from 2012, which cost $10. And it's Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The most popular game sold last year. The most popular game, and this is important to realize, it speaks to the purchasing habits of gamers. Last year, Doom 2016, the newest update for Doom, wildly popular game. It was the most sold game from 2016 that was actually released in 2016. Like I said, it was 8th on the list, came out at $60. The average user, the average price a user paid is $34. Most people bought it when it was half off. The same year it came out, most people bought it when it's half off. Steam users do not pay full price for new things. The only way that they will buy something that is brand new is if it goes on sale. Otherwise, they wait. Most of the games were from 2014 or before that were sold last year because they want them to go down in price and they want to make sure that they're good. Do you remember the debacle with No Man's Sky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 300,000 copies pre-sold. Nobody played the game. 300,000 people pre-purchased it. I think that was like $5 off the $60 sticker price. And 300,000 people bought it. It tanked. No one liked the game. It has like a 30% rating on Steam. Everyone was very upset. It was overhyped. People spent a lot of money. They got burned pretty bad. Well, that was end of 2015, I think. 2016, Steam says, hey, we're releasing this brand new system, entirely new thing. Costs a lot of money. You interested? And they go, I think I'll wait. I'll wait. It's only been out just over a year, the Vive. So with the price drop and with it having been a year and they've made improvements, hopefully more people will get into VR. And here's why that's important. They need money to keep innovating. So they're not going to make an HTC Vive 2 until enough people have bought the one and the games for the one to actually make it A, worth creating one and developing it, but B, until they have the money and the funds to pour back into that. Like Netflix spends all of its revenue last year on creating new shows. If they had less revenue, they'd have less shows. It's just how it goes. So that's hopefully what will happen. A lot of people have said that VR's dead. Oh, it's dead on arrival. No one's bought it. It was a $1.8 billion in revenue last year for all the VR headsets combined. $1.8 billion. So no one is buying it. Just the Steam users who only get on there to play like Tokitori and Peggle aren't buying it. The big people, the guys who buy the AAA games, which are coming out this year, the first actual games for it, they wait. They wait till things are cheaper, and they wait till they have been road tested and proven. So that's my opinion on it. It's cheap.
I probably fall in the first category. What's a AAA game?
Oh, like Skyrim, Fallout 4, something that I don't. You know what? There's a technical like definition, and I don't know what that is, but it's the it's like blockbuster movies, but like for games. The ones that are really nice, expensive, popular. You know, like Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare is a AAA rated game. Rise of the Tomb Raider, expensive games. They're usually the ones that release at $60 and people pre-order them and things like that. So, but VR hasn't seen many of those. In fact, the first one that I've played is the Killing Floor. Killing Floor VR just came out last week, and it is a full game. It may as well be Killing Floor 3 because it's like there's a story, there's a campaign. It's not short. The interface is not clunky and weird. The graphics are good enough that it feels like you're just playing another version of Killing Floor, not we took some elements of Killing Floor and we turned it into a VR experience. It's here's the next Killing Floor and it's on the next console. What is that called? Platform. It's on the next platform. The same way Super Smash Brothers was originally. What was the first one on? Was it on N64?
Yeah.
Or was the first one on GameCube? Because they had
N64.
It was on N64. The next one came out for GameCube. The next one came out for the Wii. I'm pretty sure they either do or are making one for the Switch because that's just how it goes. It's a different experience.
They made one for the Wii U.
They made one for the Wii U. Wow, really?
I think so.
I always forget that was even a thing. Was the Wii? No, it was an upgrade. It wasn't like Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It was like Wii and this other thing that's pretty much Wii. But anyway, so that's the way that's the way it's going. Takes a bit to adopt. It doesn't release when Nintendo releases a console. They usually have this big game. Like when the Switch was released, it had the new Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Call of the Wild, Breath of the Wild.
I think it's Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
Call of the Wild is
a
an old
book.
Mark Twain book. No,
No. Jack London.
Jack
book.
London. You're right. Thank you. I knew that. But yes, unfortunately, the you know what, next one will do that. The 5.2 or whatever will release with this big new game that'll just blow everybody's socks off. So, all right. Well, we are about at an hour, and I can see this stream keeps dipping out pretty bad. I got my final good news out that VR is finally within price range of the average normie who might be interested in an upgrade. It is now the price of your average game console. So, just saying, the people who
600 is the average game console.
no, the
pricing?
the $399.
Oh,
Yeah, $399 is like what you would pay for an Xbox when it first comes out, or more than that actually. Which people like every 2 years they come out with a new PS4, PlayStation, or a new Xbox, and people they buy them right up. So I don't know. I'm just saying. All right. Any other happy news you wanted to share with us? Well, how's Bitcoin doing?
Yeah, it's still doing pretty good. It's been going up and down. That's really all I got.
Is it okay? It's not like an all-time high where it's like it's at 10,000.
My tomato plant is growing a tomato.
There's a tomato in your tomato plant.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's out back behind the pool?
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't looked back there in a bit. Is it green? It's green still, right? It's a little tiny green tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't pick it yet.
Oh,
Don't get
of course
anxious.
not. Oh, I'm not getting. I'm
You're
getting anxious at the cucumber plant.
But you're not getting
The
restless.
leaves are all like crumbled up, but
Got it. All right. Well, that's
basil plant's doing amazing.
really.
Yeah.
Do you eat basil
I
and
didn't
things?
know.
You're gonna have to find a bunch of recipes that use basil. Dry out your basil plant.
Most
Grind it up. Most
basil can go in most
everything.
anything.
Yeah. My mom made a basil cake once. No, oregano. Put oregano in a cake as an April Fool's, because chocolate with oregano in it
That's weird.
tastes pretty funky. It's pretty foul. It's not something you want to eat, let me tell you. So, Amor Pizza learned a lot about Bitcoin this week. She's not talking about like on the show this week, right? I learned a lot about Bitcoin this week. Thanks so much for the...
I don't think we taught.
We didn't. That's what I'm saying. She's obviously not talking about us. Tell us where you learned that real quick.
Or what you learned.
Or what you learned. Yeah, I mean, there's limited comment space, but if you can...
Let's see. It's at 4,300 right now. We're at
yeah, that's it.
roughly.
That's all.
Litecoin went up a little bit. That's good for me.
Litecoin?
Mhm.
You have something called Litecoin? How's Dogecoin doing?
I don't know.
What?
Probably as trolling as ever. I mean, like literally the settings for that cryptocurrency. Like, it's a Dogecoin is worth so little. Like,
Yeah, but if you have a lot of them, you know?
if you have a lot of them, it's still worth so little.
Amor Pizza says Netflix. Apparently.
Huh?
Oh, we can't see the lowest. Oh no, yes we can. It just takes a sec. I was looking at the broadcaster, and your eyes are doing funny things. You keep like cross-eyeing, and then anyway. Amor Pizza said Netflix. Apparently there is a documentary or an informational, educational on Netflix about Bitcoin. I'll have to watch that. Learn about its founding and finally made sense of how it works. Good, because I'm still a little iffy on exactly how it works. I know that it works. I've been told that it works, and I trust the people who tell me that. So that's about as far as I'll go with my speakable knowledge of that subject. Turkey time. All right. Whoa, that is a big turkey. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it looks kind of looks more related to a dinosaur.
does, doesn't it? Well, you know the dinosaurs were. I wonder if it does this.
You're gonna make the
That
wings
is
flap.
that is kind of pathetic, dude. I mean, turkeys are nearly flightful birds. Did you know that?
They're what?
Nearly flightful, which means they can almost fly, which is a really dumb category. There's nearly flightless birds, which means they almost can't fly, but they can. Not sure how, but they almost, every time they take off, it's like, oh no, I got this. But then there's nearly flightful, which is like they keep trying and they keep thinking one of these days, nope, sorry, it's never going to happen.
Wow.
You are limited by your physical
Maybe down the road.
prowess.
Fattening
Maybe.
them up.
All right, 2 things, everybody, this week. Remember, the solar eclipse is old news. Don't talk about it anymore. 2, feel bad for nearly flightless birds, or nearly flightful birds. Nearly flightless is fine. Yeah, I like the turkey too. 3, actually. Third thing. You know what? Go. Whew. Try and stay positive. There's been a lot of negativity in the news. What is it, Bug doing? Trying to horn in on my broadcast time. There's been a lot of negativity in the news. Just don't buy into it. There's a lot of predictive things. It's things they say may happen that are negative and they'll get you down. Or B, things that happen that don't affect you but they tell you it will, and you feel the need to not only know about it but then comment on it, get into arguments about it. Just remember, keep in perspective the things that actually do affect you and the things that don't. And by affect you, I mean, you know, your area, your community, yourself, your family, your friends, things that actually matter and you should be spending your time and your energy on. So put down the phone more and stop reading the news or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Until, of course, Thursday, when you pick it back up again and catch your favorite podcast. Like I said, next week we will be, once again, joining the bright side, trying to bring a little light and a little... where'd it go? Bring a little light and happiness to people's lives. And of course, I don't have that. Dang nabbit. And making your day a little brighter, hopefully. And your week. That's why we're here. So, yes, stay positive. Stay happy. Make sure you subscribe and click that little bell so that you'll know. And remember that we're live next week. In a couple of weeks, other Matt will be coming back, and we will resume with our second season of the Matt to Matt podcast. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Always happy to have you in the chat, and always happy to have you guys join the conversation. So with that, let me bring that down. With that, we're going to be taken out with the same music we brought in with. Alrighty. Please. Nope. And here we go. Alright, everybody, stay positive. We'll see you next week.